Okay, today we'll see the personality disorders. So first we'll see what is personality, what is normal personality. So normal personality can be defined as the characteristic pattern of behaviors or modes of thinking. So what is personality? So how the person behaves with others is known as a personality, and modes of thinking that determine a person's adjustment to environment. So for example, if you ask how you are adjusting with the environment, so the mode of thinking, some may say that we can adjust to the environment, some may say it's difficult to adjust with the environment. So it's different pattern of modes of thinking. So person have how the person is thinking towards to the environment or towards to the adjustment of the environment, and how the person's behavior is, so all combinedly known as the normal personality. And it includes the factors such as intellectual abilities, attitude, beliefs, moral values, emotional reactivity. So it's like and the personality includes some of the factors such as intellectual ability. And if you say, so some of the person's intellectual ability is good and some of the persons don't have intellectual ability, so it's like it's depending on the person's personality. So it includes intellectual ability and attitude, so how their attitude was, and beliefs and moral values, so how they, what kind of beliefs and moral values they have, and the emotional activity. So these are the normal factors which includes in the personality. So and if you see some of the definitions which has given for the normal personality, those are personality presence in adolescence. So if you see the normal personality, so when we can see the personality in the sense, so that can be seen in the adolescence, stable over time despite fluctuations in the media, the fluctuations in the mood. So it's like personality is stable. So if you see my personality, so it is a stable, and if you see others personality, that is a stable, and that will not change because of the situations or the surroundings, but there will be fluctuations in the mood and manifest in different environments. So the personality can be seen in the different environments. So if you want to see my personality, so it can be visible in the different kind of environment and recognizable to friends and like to others. So the personality cannot be visible for the by the own persons, but it can be visible by the others, friends also. So first we'll see what is the personality disorder. So according to WHO, abnormal personality can be defined as a deeply ingrained maladaptive pattern of behavior continuing throughout the most of adult life, although often becoming less obvious in middle or old age. So deeply ingrained maladaptive pattern of behavior. So adaptive behavior, maladaptive behavior. So which the personality disorder in the sense the person who has a maladaptive behavior, so that was deeply ingrained, so that cannot be changed. For example, if you see the personality disorder patients, so they were ingrained with the maladaptive pattern of behavior deeply and continuing throughout the most of adult life, and that personality disorder will be starting from the adolescence and continue through the adult life, although often becoming less obvious in middle or old age. So it was changing in the middle or old age. So that is the definition of personality disorder. Maladaptive behaviors result in loneliness, suspiciousness, and withdrawn behavior. So when we can see this maladaptive behavior in the sense that can be resulting in loneliness, so the person become like lonely or suspecting the others, withdrawn behavior, so withdrawn from the society. So all kind of these maladaptive pattern of behavior, the person getting adopted. Personality disorder falls somewhere within the maladaptive range. The degrees of maladaptiveness depends on the types of disorder and its severity of symptoms. So it's if you see the personality depends on the person's type of disorder and the its a severity of symptoms. So next we'll see the characteristics of personality disorder. So if you see personality disorder, that is not a mental illness, and mental illness is different. Personality disorder is different. So personality disorder we can see in any of the persons. So few many of the people will get affected with the personality disorder. So mental illness is different. So personality disorder is like a maladaptive behavior. So adopting the abnormal pattern of the behavior. So that is known as a personality disorder. So mental illness is different. So where the person is behaving differently. So that is different. Personality disorder is like from the childhood or from the adolescence. So when the person is adopting maladaptive pattern of behavior, so that is known as a personality disorder, and it is long lasting, most of time lifelong problem. So if you see personality disorder, the person who was with a personality disorder, so it was long lasting. So if it comes in the adolescence, so that's staying through the adult, and it may be continued through the old age also, and it gives a many problems. So if you see the persons who are if in any of the family, so if they person is with the personality disorder, so because of that the entire family is suffering. It's like a lifelong problems they are suffering. It causes significant impairment in social or occupational function. So because of the personality disorders, a person may have impairment in social and as well as occupational function. It produces distress to the individual and to others. So it is producing a distress to the particular person and as well as to the others. So these are the characteristic of personality disorder. And along with that, personality disorder is different from mental illness, as I said earlier, whereas the symptoms of personality disorder are continuous and start from adolescence or even before. So it is starting from the adolescence or else from the before the adolescent period. These patients are odd but no match. So in the sense they will behave odd. So they have odd behavior, but they don't have madness or the mental illness. So the next is etiological factors. So if you see etiological factors are, one is biological factors, second is developmental factors, third is socio-cultural factors, and fourth is the psychological stresses. So first we'll see the biological factors where it may be causing because of the genetic factors, low level of serotonin. So because of the low level of the neurotransmitter of serotonin, and those with family history of alcoholism or other psychiatric problems. So if you see in their family history, some of them, if their parents are becoming alcohol dependent, or else if any of their parents has a psychiatric problem, so because of that, the particular person may get a personality disorder, especially among the people with a cluster A. And if you see these biological factors, the cluster A personality people in to their offsprings, they may get personality disorder. And next is the developmental factors. It's like early traumatic experience. So in their age, in early age, if they are exposed to any kind of trauma, so that may resulting in personality disorder. Losses suffered by the attachment figure. So if they are attached to any one of the person in the family, and because of them, if they are getting any losses, so that is also resulting in the personality disorder. Child abuse, so in their childhood, if they are getting abused by any of the persons, so for example if the family members or others is abused physically or psychologically, so that also will be resulting in the personality disorder. Sexual abuse, so if they are abused by someone sexually, so that also will be resulting in a personality disorder. Next, lack of parental care. So if their parents are not properly caring them, so that also will be resulting in the personality disorder. So these are the developmental factors. So next is socio-cultural factors, whereas like isolation, if the isolated from the family or from the society, so that will be resulting in the maladaptive pattern of behavior. Next, long-term psychiatric problems. So if the person has any kind of psychiatric problem, so because of that also they may get a personality disorder. Next, a chronic institutionalization. If the person has any kind of illness, because of that the person is staying in hospital for a prolonged period of time, so that also will be resulting in maladaptive pattern of behavior. Next, immigration. It's like if they are transmitting from one area to another area, so that also will be resulting in this. Next, lack of close family ties, which promotes loneliness. For example, if they are not getting attached to any of their family members, so that will be resulting in the loneliness. And finally, so because of that, personality disorder may occur. So all these are the socio-cultural factors, and the fourth one is a psychodynamic factors, where so the person's anxiety or increased autonomy, so increasing the self-respect. It's like increasing the self-confidence. So if they are much confident about themselves, or if they are respecting much, so that also will be resulting in the maladaptive pattern of behavior. Next is separation from the society. Next, lack of coping skills, abandonment, dependency. If they are particularly dependent person, like if they are depending on the others for small things, so that also will be resulting in the maladaptive pattern of behavior. So all these are the psychodynamic factors. So next we'll see the classification of personality disorder. So it is according to DSM-4. So personality disorders are coded on axis 2 and above, and have been divided into three clusters. It's like cluster A, cluster B, cluster C. So in cluster A, odd and eccentric, cluster B, dramatic, emotional, erratic, and cluster C, anxious and fearful. So in cluster A, odd and eccentric. So we do have three classification under that. So one is paranoid personality disorder, second is schizoid personality disorder, and third is schizotypal personality disorder. And in cluster B, so it is like the characteristics of cluster B personality are dramatic, emotional, erratic. So in that, antisocial personality disorder one, next histrionic personality disorder, and third is narcissistic personality disorder, and fourth is borderline personality disorder. So these are the cluster B personality disorders. And next is the cluster C. So these are the characteristics of cluster C. Personality are anxious and fearful. So in this, avoidant personality disorder, dependent personality disorder, and obsessive compulsive personality disorder. So these are the three kinds which we can see in the cluster C personality disorder. So first we'll discuss about cluster A. So the characteristics of cluster A are odd and eccentric. So in that, first one is paranoid personality disorder. And if you see the term itself, paranoid is a suspicious. So paranoid personality disorder is more prevalent in male than the females. So if you see male and female, so more males are getting affected with the paranoid personality disorder. So this disorder is marked by a distrust of other people and a constant unwarranted suspicion that others are in sinister motive. So here they will have a distrust. So they will not believe others. So continuously they will have a suspiciousness on others. So person with a disorder search for hidden meanings and hostile intention in everything others say or do. So if you say something to them or if you do something in front of them, so they will be searching for the hidden meanings. So these are the paranoid personality disorder patients. And if you see the signs and symptoms, the first is suspiciousness. They are occupied with the suspiciousness, mistrustful. They will not trust anybody. Argumentative, so always they will go for the argumentations. Stubborn characters and self-importance. They will give much importance to them. And next, a hypersensitive character, jealous and irritable. So the second is schizoid personality disorder in cluster A. So if you see schizoid personality disorder, so it's like we can see the detachment and social withdrawal. So they will get detached from the others and they will not get involved with the society. People with these disorders are commonly described as loners with solitary interest and occupations and no close friends. So they are interested to be lonely and they have a solitary interests and in the occupations and as well as in the society they don't have any close friends. So those are schizoid personality disorder patients. Typically they maintain a social distance even from family members and seem unconcerned about others. So they always maintain a distance from the society and even with the family members they don't want to maintain the relationship and they will have a unconcerned about others. So they will not concerned about the other people. And if you see the signs and symptoms, so first is emotionally cold. So they don't have emotional. They will not react emotionally to the others and humorless. So they don't have sense of humor. Aloof, like unfriendliness. Introspective. So they will not express all the emotions to the others. No desire for enjoyment of close relationships. So they don't have. They will not enjoy the relationships. Next, inability to experience pleasures. So they're unable to experience the pleasure because of the relationships. Okay, the third is a schizotypal disorder, and if you see the schizotypal disorder, it is also same like the second one. So this disorder is marked by odd thinking and behavior, a pervasive pattern of social and interpersonal deficits. So here we can see the social deficits and interpersonal deficits. So here they will not maintain the social relationships and as well as the interpersonal relationships and acute discomfort with the others. And if you see them, so they will feel discomfort with the other people. So the signs and symptoms are like this. The first is inappropriate effect and odd beliefs are magical thinking, social withdrawal, so they will not get involved with the society at all. Odd, eccentric or peculiar behavior, so they will behave like odd and a peculiar behavior, lack of close relationships, they are unable to maintain the close relationships in the society, social isolation, so they will get isolated from the society, then they will get isolated themselves from the society, not fitting easily with the others. So if the such kind of people, schizotypal personality people, if they meet with a new person, so they unable to fit with the others. So next, cluster B. So where we can see the characteristics like dramatic, emotional, and erratic. So here the first one is antisocial personality disorder. So the characteristics are like antisocial behavior. So antisocial in the sense they will commit the activities which is against the society. So they will get involved in the criminal activities. So that is the antisocial personality disorder. And the person is unable to maintain the consistent, responsible functioning at work, school, or as a parent. So they are unable to maintain any of the work, whether it might be in the work area or in the school or else in the as a parent. So they are failed to complete the responsibility. So next is the signs and symptoms, so where we can see the failure to sustain the relationship, they are unable to maintain the relationship, impulsive actions which is cannot be controlled by themselves, low tolerance to the frustration, so if they get frustrations they are unable to tolerate that frustration, tendency to cause violence, lack of guilt, so they don't have guiltiness, inability to maintain close personal or even sexual relationships. So the next is histrionic personality disorder, where the patient with the disorder is characteristically have a pervasive pattern of excessive emotionality and attention-seeking behavior. So see here, so they will have excessive emotionality. So they will react to the situations with excessive emotionality, and always they will behave to get attention from the others, like attention-seeking behavior, and are drawn to momentary excitement and fleeting adventure. So this disorder is most common in females. So if you see this histrionic personality can be seen in the females. So they are like a much with a more emotionality, and with, they behave with they behave to get attention from the others. People with this disorder need to be the center of attention at all times. So they want to be like a attractive person in the society. So because of that, they will behave like that. So next we can see the signs and symptoms of histrionic personality disorder, where we can see the dramatic emotionality, so emotional blackmail. So they always make an emotional blackmail to the others. Angry scenes, they will create some of the angry scenes so which to get attention from the others. Demonstrative suicide attempts, so they will demonstrate their suicide attempts, but they will not commit the suicide. So it's like just to get the attention. Next, attention-seeking behavior, lack of consideration for others. They will not consider about the others, self-dramatization, so they always occupied with the self-dramatic behavior. Okay, the third one is a narcissistic personality disorder, where these kind of people are self-centered, self-absorbed, and lacking in empathy for others. So they always concentrate on themselves, they're self-absorbed, and they don't have empathy on others. He typically takes advantage of the people to achieve his own ends and uses them without regards to their feelings. So they will use the other people to achieve their own goals, and they will not consider about the other feelings when they are using. So if you see the signs and symptoms of narcissistic personality disorder, so they are always with attention-seeking behavior, dramatic behavior, unable to face criticism. So they, if you criticize them, if you say some of the weaknesses to them, they are unable to accept such kind of the criticism. Lack of empathy, they don't have empathy towards others. Arrogant behavior, exploitative behavior. Okay, then the fourth one is a borderline personality disorder, where it is marked by a pattern of instability in interpersonal relationships, mood, behavior, and self-image. So they don't have a stability in any of the things. They don't have stability in the interpersonal relationships. They don't have stability in the mood. They don't have stability in the behavior. They don't have stability in the self-image. So it was changing. So instability in all this, that is known as a borderline personality disorder. And here there are four main categories of signs and symptoms in the borderline personality disorder. So first is unstable relationships, unstable self-image, so they don't have any proper relationship, so they will be shifting from one relationship to other relationship, so that is unstable relationship. The second is unstable self-image and unstable emotions, that there is even emotions are not stable, and impulsivity which is cannot be controlled. So other signs and symptoms of the borderline personality disorder are lack of control of anger, they are not unable to control their anger, recurrent suicidal threats or behavior. So it's like the they will repeatedly threaten the others because of their suicidal behavior, uncertainty about personal identity, so they don't have identity of their own. So it's like uncertainty about their personal identity, and chronic feelings of emptiness, so they always occupied with the chronic feelings of the emptiness. So these are the signs and symptoms of the borderline personality disorder. So next is third one, cluster C personality disorder. So where the characteristics are like anxious and fearful. So in that first one is avoidant personality disorder. So people with this disorder have a low self-esteem, poor self-confidence. So here lack of self-confidence. They will be negative and have difficulty in viewing situation and interaction objectives. So they always occupy with the negative idea. So that is avoidant personality disorder. And if you see the signs and symptoms of avoidant, fear of disapproval or rejection. So they always occupied with a fear. So that is about disapproval or rejection. So before approaching some other, so they will be occupied with the fear. So because they may get rejected by the others, or they may get disapproved by the others. Unwillingness to become involved with the people, so they will not get involved with the other people. They are always with the shyness, insecurity. So the persons having this disorders also have other psychiatric disorders like social phobia, anxiety disorder, obsessive and compulsive disorder, depressive disorder, somatoform disorder. So they may also get affected with these kind of psychiatric disorders. The second one in the cluster C is the dependent personality disorder. So the term itself dependent in the sense they are getting dependent on others. So they are become like a submissive and fear of separation or rejection. So they don't want to get separated or rejected by the person who on whom they are getting dependent. For example, if they are depending on the friend, so they don't want to get separated from them. They don't want to get rejected by the from that particular friend. If they are depending on the family, so they don't want to get separated or rejected by the family. It's like continuously they will become a submissive and depend on the particular one person, that is known as the dependent personality disorder. So people with this disorder that other make important discussions for them and have a strong need for constant reassurance and support. So here we with this dependent personality disorder, so people will give chance for other persons to take the important decisions or important discussions to make for them, and have a strong need for constant reassurance and support. So they want a constant reassurance and support from the others. And if you see the signs and symptoms of the dependent personality disorders, feeling uncomfortable and helpless. Okay, so they always will be with the uncomfortable, helplessness, inability to make the decisions, low self-esteem and lack of self-confidence, and they will be with the hypersensitivity. And the third one in the cluster C is obsessive compulsive personality disorder. So here the individual places a great deal of pressure on himself and other not to make a mistake. So they don't want to make any mistakes, they don't want others to make mistakes. So for that what they will do, they will give continuous stress on them and as well as on others. So they want to be very perfect and they want to do all the things in correct way. So because of that they make force on them and as well as on others to follow the moral right moral principles. So if you see the signs and symptoms, feeling of excessive doubt and caution. So always they are aware with the doubt and caution. So perfectionism, they want to be like a perfect and they want other to be perfect. So they want to maintain high standards. So now we'll see the treatment for all these personality disorders. The first is anxiolytic drugs. So we can treat with anxiolytic drugs where for reducing the anxiety. So here the drugs are like alprazolam, etivan, librium, diazepam. So all these are the anxiolytics for treating the anxiety. So the second is neuroleptic drugs. So are antipsychotics. So it can be used in case of paranoid and schizotypal personality disorder. So in the type of paranoid and schizotypal personality disorders, so where they have a psychotic symptoms, so for reducing the antipsychotic for reducing the psychotic symptoms, they will go for antipsychotics. So the antipsychotics are like olanzapine, haloperidol, droperidol. The third treatment of choice is a psychodynamic treatment. So this is also called as an insight-oriented therapy, where they will give insight orientation to the patients. So they will be continuously focusing on the unconscious process as they are manifested in a person's present behavior. So unconscious process which is disturbing the present behavior of the patient. So they will concentrate on the such kind of unconscious process. So they will make insight. They will help the patient to get insight of the patients. And the goal of psychodynamic therapy is the client's self-awareness. So what is this goal of the psychodynamic therapy? In the sense, self-awareness of the patient. The patient should know about himself. So he should get insight of about himself. So what is the unconscious process which is disturbing the present behavior? So that should be known by the patients. And understanding of the influence of the past on present behavior. The fourth one is the cognitive and behavior therapy. So they will give cognitive therapy and as well as the behavior therapy, cognitive behavior therapy. So most cognitive behavioral approaches address specific aspects of thought, feelings, behavior, or attitude, and do not claim to treat the entire personality disorders of the person. So now, if you say the cognitive behavior therapy, so that is not concentrating on the changing of the personality of the behavior, but they will be concentrating on the aspects of the thought, feelings, behavior, and attitude. So that has to be changed. The thought has to be changed. The behavior of the person has to be changed. Thinking process, feelings, attitudes. So that has to be changed. So, but cognitive behavior therapy will not be changing the personality of the patient. So with this, we are completed. So have you understood or not? Students, can you please respond? So far you have seen what
Yes, ma'am. Understood.
personality
Understanding, ma'am.
types of personality and each type of personality science and symptoms, and at last we have seen the management of the personality disorders. And if you have any doubts, please ask. Did you get my voice? Friends,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
have you understood the class?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
What is personality disorder? What is personality disorder? Jessica, Anuradha, Shweta, Deepika, Girija, Ankita, Charan. Respond. What is personality disorder? Hello, students. What is personality disorder? What are the etiological factors for personality disorder? Are you getting my voice or not? Ankita, Anuradha, respond. What did you understood? So nothing you have understood. Taba,
Yes, ma'am.
what is personality disorder?
Ma'am, it's a mental disorder
Huh?
in which
It's not a mental
it is
disorder.
a mental, I, like our personality disorder where we will we will get it from abusing. I mean, like it's an example.
Did you understood the class or do you want me to repeat this class again? Because the sound disturbance is coming. Ma, let me know. Do you want me to repeat this class?
Ma'am, send the link, ma'am. I mean YouTube.
Everyone?
YouTube.
Okay, I'm stopping with this. Thank you all. And if you have doubt, please ask me. If you want me to repeat this class, and tell me. Okay, thank you
No,
all.
ma'am, but little bit. Ma'am.
Okay, bye.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.